to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Hello everyone and welcome to What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the United Kingdom with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. In the most recent episode of What's All This Then Finest, me and Libby took another dip into the post box and answered a bunch of your listener questions, such as, where did our cats get their names? Who in our friend group would we call to bail us out of jail? And why do British people put so many kisses in their text messages? If you want to know the answer to all of those questions and more, as well as support the show and gain access to all of our previous bonus episodes and video episodes too, then head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/what's all this then. But today on the show, we are of course talking about the 1998 American drama film about the underground world of high-stakes poker known as Rounders. I don't know why Britty? Who the hell is Britty?
Britty.
Libby, you're Britty now. I was going to say you suggested it, but I actually suggested the topic of Rounders, so no, I won't do that. Anyway, just kidding, that we're not talking about that. We are, of course, talking about a UK sport that may bear some resemblance to a certain ball game. It's the Great British Ball
Oh my god,
Game
she's done it.
with a really small bat. Hitting a ball is just so much fun, but if you don't hit it, they still make you run. I was forced to play it at school. It was the reason I hated PE. There are no strikes, that's not how it works at the Rounders game. It's shit British baseball, it's the Rounders game. I am Charlotte McDonnell, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host, it's Britty Watson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. It's me, Britty. That's my British name. It's funny.
Good one, Libby.
It's funny.
Proper
wonderful
bounce.
song as always. Really, really good song. I love
Thank
that
you.
song. I think it's nice that people sing it. We'll talk about it, obviously, when we get into the topic, but I think that's a nice thing about baseball. Charlotte, I did something really embarrassing the other day that I thought I would tell you on the pod.
I would love to hear about it, Libby.
So Lewis and I were watching something where somebody said, well, well, well. And I pointed at the screen and said, what's all this then? And he was like, what do you mean they didn't say what's all this then? And I was like, well, people say, well, 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 what's all this then? And then he was like, no, they don't. And I was like, I'm thinking of LO.
You're thinking of
what's all this then?
LO.
Yeah, I was thinking of LO.
Well, what's all this then?
I mean, it kind of sounds good as well to say well, but
I mean, I do a similar thing. I was playing, their first Hades game recently, and every time Zagreus enters a particular area of the game, he says, what's all this? And I'm like, where's the then? Where's the zen? Zagreus, where is it? Anyway.
Oh, man, that's really frustrating. I remember when I was Googling what's all this then early on to kind of see what we were up against SEO-wise, I did find a YouTube video from, I think, Dynasty Warriors. Apparently there's a guy in Dynasty Warriors who says, what's all this then? And Pat, you can, I'll find the clip for you. You can put it in. And if I'm wrong, then you can just take this whole bit out. Because my memory not so good no more. Me don't remember name.
That's okay. Are we finally, I think we are finally the main what's all this then, though.
Let me just do a quick incognito check on that.
Right, because that was one of the affirmations is that we would do better SEO than the other podcast called What's All This Then, and I think we're the main one now.
We're extremely the main one, yeah. Okay, so when you Google What's All This Then, the Apple Podcast page is the top result, followed by our Patreon. That's good. The AI overview, which is perhaps arguably, unfortunately, even more important these of days. What's all this then? Exactly. What's all this then is a British phrase used to ask what is happening, what is wrong, or what is being said, often when surprised. It can also refer to a specific British podcast called What's All This Then, hosted by Charlotte McDonnell and Libby Watson, which discusses various British topics like Tesco, the Tube, and tossers.
Okay, well, classic artificial intelligence. We have, of course, never done an episode about tossers, but now I'm very tempted to. Not that I really know what that episode would be.
Yeah, we could maybe do a tosses up. I'm seeing it's pulling that from the Patreon description, which I wrote when we made the Patreon and have not thought about since, where I say we explore matters of British life from Tesco to Tossers, Teletubbies to the Tube.
Okay. So it is our fault.
It's my fault. Specifically, it's my fault. But this, I do think it's funny to say a specific British podcast, which is sort of, I would say, semi-true. Is this a British podcast or is it a podcast about Britain, Charlotte?
It's a good question. Is a podcast British because the people who make it is British, or does it have to be made in Britain? No? Okay, Libby's decided. All right. It's not an interesting question after all. Should we bring in our lovely guest for today?
Yes, please.
Libby, who you're added to the list of guests who are just so polite, who don't butt in before introduced. We love this kind of guest here. The nicest kind of guest.
I know how the game works. I know how the game is played. Yeah, I need the intro.
Thank you for that.
Appreciate it. She's the creator of the website Rotating Sandwiches and one of the hosts of the baseball podcast Batting Around. Baseball, Rounders, makes sense, eh? Welcome to the show, Lauren Walker. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm disappointed to find out that the $12 I spent on the Rounders novelization was wasted. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
No, it wasn't wasted.
When I was doing research for Rounders, which we will obviously get into depth on, and we obviously have lots and lots of good information about Rounders to share, and this wasn't one of those topics where we were like, okay, it's a baseball guest, I guess we should do British baseball, and then discovered that there's actually really not that much to talk about. It's not one of those at all, that we've actually got a lot. But I will say I did, just in case we needed it, bring up the trivia page for the Rounders movie on IMDb. Just possibly just to have something to talk about. Did you guys know that Worm was originally supposed to smoke, but avid non-smoker Edward Norton refused? So there's a tidbit from Rounders.
That's a very 1998 movie trivia fact to have. That's like the peak of the anti-smoking movement.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I sort of think I'm going to have to watch Rounders because I also kept finding Rounders, the movie stuff, when I was looking for Rounders, the game stuff. And I'm kind of shocked at the cast. It's like an insanely stacked cast for a movie I've never heard of.
Yeah, babyface Matt Damon, babyface Ed Norton.
Yep.
Yep.
John Malkovich still looking exactly like 55 years old.
Yes, as he has since he was born. Yeah.
No, people really, this is mostly what I found out when trying to do research about the British game Rounders, is that people really fucking love the movie Rounders. I did also think it would be really funny to show up today having done absolutely no research into the main topic and just have all of my notes be about the movie Rounders. But then I thought maybe Libby would get real mad at me if I did that. So that is not what I have done. No, mad.
I'm always in favor of us completely kind of breaking boundaries, Charlotte, and flaunting the format of the show, sort of what the show is meant to be about. I'm specifically thinking about the very few negative reviews that we've gotten of the podcast that say they don't get to the main topic. I was listening to hear about stuff from Britain, but they never talk about it. They just sort of seem to talk about random stuff. And it does sort of make me want to do a whole episode where we just never talk about Britain.
That would be really, really fun.
People don't understand the medium.
They don't understand.
Like an actually focused subject. They want an audiobook. That's not what a podcast is.
They want to read a Wikipedia page. And hey, I'll read a Wikipedia page. I've got one open right now. But
I got a copy.
I mean, look, it's like people who listen to Doughboys and say, I wish that they would talk more about the KFC Double Down or whatever. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why do you want that, you weirdo? I think we'd be fine if we were talking about just the movie. And I also kind of think we should maybe do it for a Two Bird Cinema Club.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, sure. I mean, we've got. Actually, I should have mentioned it because this week we are going to do a Two Bird Cinema Club. That will be the finest episode this week. We will not about Rounders. We said it would be about Shaun of the Dead because Two Bird Cinema Club is about doing British movies, but also it's the finest, so who cares? Maybe we'll do Rounders. I don't know. Hey guys, if we get enough comments and likes on this particular Patreon, Like give us a thumbs up on the thing, and then maybe we'll do the Rounders episode. Come on, guys.
Two Chick Theater Club.
All right.
Because it's American movies.
Mm-hmm. Do they say theater?
Yeah, they say movie theater.
Movie theater. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get all into Rounders later. But first off, so Lauren, I'll admit, Libby introduced me to you very recently, bringing you up into the show as a guest. You have the website about the rotating sandwiches, of course, which I have seen and enjoyed very much.
Yes. That has somehow become my calling card for like a goofy internet project that mostly just entertains bored school children. Yeah.
Wait, do you get like emails from school children saying
tons?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
that's
an email
so nice.
inquiries that I put up like in case like a Philadelphia newspaper sent an email in once. 99% of the time it's like fourth graders saying, I like your video game.
Oh, that's so nice.
That is actually delightful.
Oh, man. Now I need to make a website. Like, that's such a nice thing to have happen. And, you know, this is actively something where I wouldn't want a child to say, I like your podcast, because I would say, no, you're not supposed to, you can't listen to this. This isn't for you.
That's not for you. But the rotating sandwich language is universal.
It's for everybody. Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, would it be uncouth for me to tell you the sandwich that I ate today, and then you can tell me if it's a good sandwich or not? And Libby, you're obviously welcome to weigh in on this. I was just curious if this is maybe the kind of question you get a lot as the rotating sandwiches person, but
it's at the point now where like when new sandwich places open up in my city, I get a lot of text messages. Yeah, so by all means, I'm happy to hear it.
Well, how do you feel about a cheese and cucumber sandwich? And Libby, feel free to chime in on this.
I'm a big fan of a pickle cheese sandwich, and I don't think that's that far off, so I think that's fine.
Okay. Libby? Libby, you pulled a face when I said cheese and cucumber sandwich.
It's just, look, I don't want to spoil the game we have for later, but it's I'm pogging at cucumber for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I've had a cheese and cucumber. Here's my problem with cheese and cucumber, right? And it's also why I don't like too many, like, on a pizza, I'm not a big fan of the sort of juicy vegetable, you know, like a roasted red, you know, or like a red pepper or something. Anything that's going to produce juice on my pizza, I think is sort of tricky for me, because then you get these sort of wet bits on the greasy cheese. Same thing I'm thinking of with this sandwich is you got wet, fresh, crunchy, juicy cucumber and cheese, which isn't those things. I guess it's too
depends
wet.
if it's a melted cheese, I think. If it's not a melted cheese, if it's just a cold sandwich with a hard cheese, I think you're not going to run into that. So I see where you're coming from with like the different kinds of viscosity layered on top of each other. So I guess that's the relevant question. Are we talking like, I'm assuming it's not American cheese. I'm assuming it's something a little bit nicer.
Cheddar.
Well, this is the thing,
English
is
cheddar.
I'm bearing the lead a little bit because it is a cucumber and cheese sandwich, but I do think I gussy it up a fair bit to enjoy, right? So if I can talk you through, this has become a daily thing for me now. I don't often sort of have the lunch that I have the same thing every single day, but I'm here and I'm enjoying it currently. We're doing the 12 grain bread, all right? And then what we're gonna do, because I've been looking for a good, like, you know, a good spread for the sandwich, and I've landed on hummus. Hummus has become the one for me now. So we do the hummus, and then we come in with the everything bagel seasoning, and that goes onto both slices of the bread with the hummus on. And then we're going in with the Havarti cheese. It's the one that has little spices and stuff inside of it. And then it's just slices of cucumber. I try and do them sort of, I'll tell you what, Libby, I try and do it thin enough that they're not going to kind of like slip out. That does feel important to me, because I don't like it when they slip out. And then I go for the sun chips as well. I have the French onion sun chips.
French
I
onion
For
sun
crunch,
chips.
for the crunch factor, of course.
Yes, as a nice accompaniment to the meal. So if you guys would both like to rate my sandwich real quick and let me know if I'm doing it right, or potentially suggest adjustments too, feel free. I'm looking to. I feel like I've reached my limit on how to make the sandwich good for me. I would say as well toasted bread. That's an important thing for me. Because I'm a bread in the freezer person. because I need to. The bread has got to go in the freezer because it's going to go off too quick. I'm just one person. And I'm only having the 2 slices a day. So that's another important element. Oh, and finally, thank you for listening to all of this, everybody. Finally, we do also do, before the bread goes on top of the sandwich, we do also do salt sprinkled on top of the cucumber.
Very good. Very good. I like that. I like that a lot. I love a salt sprinkle on anything. I'm sort of like a horse. And if something is salty, I will lick it. I really, really like salt. I think I'm giving that sandwich a tentative 4 out of 5. Because it does sound really good. In my mind, I was, honestly, what I was thinking of was a British sandwich, a train station sandwich with big slices of cucumber and some awful cheese and maybe mayonnaise.
It's usually cheddar. It's just like white bread as well. And then probably I would say maybe not even mayonnaise, maybe just some butter, and that's it. Yeah.
And so the sandwich you've described is good, and I would try it.
I agree. I think 4 out of 5 sounds reasonable. I think if it were me, if it's in season, I might add some thinly sliced tomato for that tomato cucumber play. But to Libby's point, if that was like a Pret sandwich for $14, I'd probably pay it and eat it happily.
Okay, I like that. How do you guys feel about the hummus as the spread? Because that really felt like it was my big brain moment, but I don't know if that's kind of just a normal thing now.
Very respectable. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Yeah,
it's probably not the one I would go for first, but I think it makes sense. I think hummus and cheese is not something that I've had a lot. Unless we're talking like halloumi or feta. Halloumi. A sandwich I do quite a lot is maybe controversial. I do bread, reasonably thick slices of the Trader Joe's unexpected cheddar, which is extremely like British cheddar, very authentic cheddar. Because like American cheddar, a lot of the time is just it's not though, is it? It's that American style of cheese that's all sort of uniform and smooth and shiny.
It's just the block of cheese.
Yes, it's deli cheese. Yeah. Whereas the English cheddar is like crumbly, almost grainy, and very sharp. And I'll do that.
The cheddar like that scares most of us. Yes.
Yeah, as it should. It's. I mean,
especially because you call it old. Oh, you want the old cheese? I mean, I don't know.
Cheese.
I know I don't want old cheese. I want new cheese. But I think our word is worse, which is what we call it mature.
Mature. Oh, it's actually that is so nasty, especially with all of the other things that people say about Britain. So I do that and sort of thinly sliced Cosmic Crisp apples and some mayonnaise.
Ooh, nice. I like that the apples in the sandwich is great.
Yes.
Cheddar and apples is a classic pairing. I think the mayo will put off a bunch of people. Not me. I'm an unapologetic mayo fanatic. So I'm with you on it. But a lot of people, that's going to be the breaking point for them.
Thank you. Speaking of English cheddar, I want to commend you for some posts that I've seen you do. I always appreciate it when you push back on the frankly lazy, I think, American trope of British food sucks. Which yes, it does, but stop posting it. Do you realize you are the 8 millionth person to say, oh, you guys eat freaking beans. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to someone who eats beans for breakfast. It's like, that's so cool. Did you come up with that? That's so funny.
It's basically making the same 1990s joke as like making fun of tofu. It's really dated material.
Yes.
And it's not true. Like there's good food pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
And I am unapologetic defender of the only American brave to say most British food is pretty good.
Thank you so much.
Most.
So appreciate that.
No, I don't expect any credit for it. You're right to hate us. I don't expect anyone to ever take it. I demand no gratitude for it.
Hey, and kind of a foundational principle of this podcast is you're right to hate us too. It's a land of contrasts. I would ask what your favorite British foods are, and perhaps even specifically sandwiches.
Specifically sandwiches is trickier.
Yes, because we don't have any.
I'm just not super familiar with too many of them, probably. I like a Plowman's. A Plowman's is a staple.
Mm-hmm.
I think most British sandwiches is okay. You got white bread, and then it's some meat is going in there, and then some ketchup, and then we're done. Or it's instead of meat, it's just chips as well.
And butter in almost all sandwiches, in all circumstances. Butter in the sandwich, almost
Which
like
is, I think, like a delineation between Americans tend to not do too much butter on the sandwich, unless it's like a toasted butter bread situation. Like
yes,
someone making a sandwich at home, I think, is less likely to use butter.
Yeah, and that's a mistake, I feel.
Probably.
Butter is an enhancer in many contexts. But okay, sandwiches aside, what are some other British foods that you like?
There's a shout out to Phoenix, Arizona, the cultural capital of the United States. They have a series of really good restaurants called Cornish Pasty Company. And from there, I've really learned to appreciate a pasty.
Let's go.
The sheer variety of things you can put inside of one.
Yes.
Americans really more broadly speaking, need to embrace like hand pies in general. Outside of Louisiana, we don't really do that here. And that's a real shame because it's one of the most like efficient ways to convey flavor and calories.
I'm not sure I know the Louisiana hand pie, and that does
Nakadish
sound like a sexual thing, doesn't it?
The Louisiana meat pie is not an act I'm prepared to talk about on a podcast my parents might listen to. But in Natchitoches, Louisiana, they have the Natchitoches meat pie, which is basically like a little meat pie with Cajun seasoning. They also do crawfish in those pies as well. Excellent.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I have to imagine, because I do think of the meat pie as extremely English, but I gotta imagine there are some French meat pies. I gotta imagine a French bloke has put some duck in a pastry at some point, and thus making its way over to New Orleans.
That's almost certainly, yeah. The or Spanish. New Orleans is weird like that.
Yeah,
one of those. One of those.
You said variety of fillings in the pasties. Do you have a favorite variety? Because I was always a cheese and onion person myself when I got the pasty.
I can't speak to how creative people get with it in the UK. This place in Phoenix has a really good pork and apple pasty.
Ooh,
that I like quite a bit. They also will do kind of a little harder to get there, a really good green chili in a pasty. And that Mexican-British crossover goes absolutely crazy.
God, that sounds amazing.
This menu is fucking crazy. Just take a look at this.
It's menu time. Let's have a look.
It is menu time.
That is the risk of letting Americans do other people's things, is we will iterate in a way that's very like Sherman Tank-esque. In this case, just coming up with 1,000 different kinds of pasties they can sell to you par baked, and then you can do it at home.
Having some issues here with
Is this an enormous menu? I can't. It seems huge.
Yeah.
It keeps fucking refreshing. Oh, this is driving me crazy. All right, I'm gonna open
They
the
update
PDF,
it every 5 seconds because they're always coming up with something new to put on that thing.
Okay, here we are. This is the Las Vegas menu of the Cornish Pasty Company.
Okay.
And now knowing that this is a mere 4-hour drive from my home.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Phoenix to LA is a very easy drive too. I've done that maybe 100 times.
I think didn't we talk about this maybe with
so.
When we talked to Nick, because we did Greg's, and I think we talked about the Cornish Pasty Company. I think we said it should be a Patreon goal for me to go to the Cornish Pasty Company in Vegas, which would be my 3rd time in Vegas, and it would be the 3rd time I've been for a work trip and not for something fun. So I think it's good to continue.
That's the way to do it. I think
that trend.
Yeah. That's a lot of
vegan
and vegetarian options here.
Yeah.
I mean, like
kind of
this is
like in a college town part of the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Some stuff I'm not so
30,
sure about.
40 different varieties of pasty here. This is a lot.
Okay, now I am interested in the Italian. And that's not me talking to my friends about Lewis when I first met him, but it's me talking about this Cornish Pasty Company pasty, which has pepperoni, salami, capicola, aka gabagool, ham, fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, and roasted tomato with a side of marinara. Fresh mozzarella could be tough inside a pasty. I know from watching Great British Bake Off that you don't want too wet a filling in your pie because it creates problems.
Libby really doesn't like wet things, just sort of generally, is what I'm discovering right now. Doesn't like it when it's wet.
Yes, bone dry for me,
part
please.
Of the meal. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring my own wet. Actually, thank you. Sorry, that's really disgusting. I shouldn't say that. That's not even what I meant to say. Anyway, meat and cheese. What do we think about that? Meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese.
Cheddar and Swiss.
That sounds great. Yeah, I have to imagine not all of these are hitting, but I do like the variety here because I think I've had a lot of Cornish pasties, but I don't really feel like when I've been to the Cornish pasty like shops in Cornwall that they really have much variety. I think most people going to get a pasty there are going for the traditional and then
this guy here,
maybe one veggie option is what they'll also have, but they sort of have the one thing they do well and that's mostly what they stick to.
We really need to get like a global advocacy program going to get like New Mexico style green and red chilies, take that global. That needs to be outside of just the Southwest.
Yes. Yes, I completely agree. I think, oh my God, a green chili pasty would go so hard. Jesus, I'm thinking about that and I'm getting ever so hungry. And now I'm thinking, I've never done a pasty stream. I've never made a pasty, period. I've made savory pies, but I've never made a pasty. Do I have to do a pasty stream? Yes, I do. Yes, I do have to.
I would love for you to do the pasty stream. Could you do the OG version of the pasty where it is split into two in the middle? You aware of this kind of wasn't this like the original sort of maybe this is just stuff I learned being in Cornwall that is not actually true, I don't know, but my understanding is it was like the reason it had the big rind is because people would take it to eat in the mines, right?
Yes.
So they would get their hands all dirty and they could throw the rind away, and also part of it was that there was a divider in there. And half of it was savory and the other half was sweet. So that this is the bit that seems made up now that I'm looking the expressions on your faces as I say it. But that would sort of turn it into a full meal, as you get your sweet and your savory sort of in the one thing.
That's next level. They should bring that back.
Okay.
It wouldn't necessarily survive on in the content age though, because you don't get the cross section shot.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
which is critical for any kind of food content.
It is, and so perverted, isn't it? Sometimes I see people taking, the video or photo of their food, and I think of it as the upskirt burger shot, and it's quite disgusting. Okay, so I'm on the website. Sorry,
I was gonna say the absolute worst version of that, if you're into barbecue YouTube at all, is they will squeeze the brisket and all the juice. It's just the most disgusting thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Really appalling stuff.
Yeah, you can get pretty nasty with me. Okay, so I'm on a really good website. I'm gonna share it again. I'm sorry about this, Pat, because I know it's annoying, but look at how good this website is. It's got the little flag.
It's got the little gifs of the Cornish flags in the corner. It's in Comic Sans because of course it is.
More complex than this was a mistake.
Yeah, I know, right? This is what the whole internet should look like. Pasties with afters. This is a person who is arguing, okay, my mother made these when I was a boy in Hale, West Cornwall, and I recently learned that my wife's auntie Hilda also made them, also in Hale. Wow. There were probably other families who made them, blah, 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 blah. I have seen some nonsense about these pasties, both in books and on the electric internet. Love that. Some people think they are a figment of the imagination. Well, they aren't. They are real. Okay. So, yes, Charlotte, they are real.
They are real. Wow. I believe my stepmom is from Hale as well. So if I wasn't estranged from my father, I would ask her about this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. As kind of on the homepage of this website, this is an astonishingly well-researched and thorough website.
It's wonderful. I really like it. And look, we got a picture here. We got this
website, guys. This is just for the listeners. This website has pictures on it, which is really, really cool. So you can't see the pictures, but there are pictures on it as well. Mm-hmm. No, I really like the fact that the text just expands to the size of the window. That's my favorite part, maybe.
The two fillings are separated by a finger of dry bread. I adore that sentence ever so much. I love the concept and I love the sentence. A finger of dry bread.
A finger of dry bread.
A finger of dry bread. I didn't realize that you put the meat in raw. That's not how I would have thought you would done it. I would have thought you would cook the meat first a bit, at least, and then bung it in. But it seems it's not overbaked. So can I see a cross section? No, it
doesn't seem
like
there's
no,
a cross
no
section on the
cross-section.
website.
No.
Well, but I do think it's a good thing for you to do, Libby. Maybe just start with the traditional, you know. But I mean, Cornish pasty is one of those things that I do miss. It's unfortunate as well that I think we can get some here. I know we've talked about it before. There is like a bakery here that I know does them. My sister said she went there and was disappointed by how salty it was, unfortunately. That's kind of put me off trying it myself. And then the other thing is everyone here calls them pasties. That just sort of pisses me off. Like puts me off like even like wanting to try their versions of them here in Toronto. Well, that's wonderful. I am wondering, Lauren, if there's any other, before we start getting into the topics we have a wonderful British thought to go into today, which is truly crazy. Any other bits of the UK, maybe non-food related stuff about the UK that interests you?
Yeah, I don't think I have full Anglophile tendencies necessarily, but I'm a big fan of the Aubrey Maturin books by Patrick O'Brien. The Master and Commander of the Far Side was the movie adaptation, but it's like a 20-book series that's very well written, and that was my gateway into my appreciation of big boats. So big fan of like the Napoleonic era stuff. You got to be the good guys in that one, kinda.
Hell yeah. So rare. We don't get that a lot. Apparently I can fly to Las Vegas and back for $100. That doesn't seem like that should be legal. I don't think I should be allowed to fly to Las Vegas from LA. That doesn't seem right. But
is it from what airport is it from?
From Burbank.
It's from Burbank? Well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
way
you gotta
better.
do that.
Way better. It's right there. I mean, that's 20 minutes away. I could be there and back in a day, and I could have a Cornish pasty. But then, how would I get there? I wouldn't have a car. I'll simply have to drive through the desert in one day, like I did before, and it was really crazy. I think
it's a nice drive.
It's such a nice drive. It's really kind of insane. It doesn't feel like 4 hours. Sorry, I distracted us again from our Britain talk. So nice books. Have you? This is me having read one book in the last 20 years, but have you read the Wolf Hall series?
Years ago, yes. I really preferred My Hilary Mantel about the French, but I do remember really liking. I think I read it when the BBC show first came out, and then they took like 10 years off. Yes. Man, all of that's since been purged from my brain.
Yes, quite so. I started reading the third one, and then for some reason just stopped. I think I go through periods where my brain can't absorb information. It just becomes like a sort of smooth, shiny rock. And that's fine. Hey, and that's fine. It's fine to be stupid. It's fine to be really, really stupid and not have any thoughts. But I really, really loved the first two, and I will finish the third one. So perhaps I'll try her French stuff next.
I did actually have another thing related to the. Oh, sorry. I had something else related to the I-5 drive from, or I-10 drive from Las Vegas to LA. Have you ever streamed Desert Bus?
No, but I know about it, and I I really respect it as a project and as a ridiculous thing to do. Why don't you tell people about Desert Bus?
Desert Bus, because it's simply one of my favorite things where I have no desire to actually play it, but it's just an all-time great bit. Penn and Teller did a video game release for the Sega CD system called Penn and Teller Smoke and Mirrors, and one of the games in it is Desert Bus, where you drive, much as they did for years, a magician's tour bus in the driver's seat simulated the full correct time from LA to Las Vegas. And the reward, if you do this, if you play this game of just streaming you going through the empty desert for 6 hours, is that the bus turns around and you go back the other way. And streamers will do like a charity thing every year, I believe.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the charity thing. Look, I mean, I love punishing streams. I am sort of wondering, someone must have suggested this to Tom Walker, right? Because our friend Tom Walker loves to do things that are seemingly pointlessly punishing and sort of deranged. So it feels like something that someone would have suggested to him. I sort of feel like he would say, no, that's crazy, while also embarking on a stream where he flips a coin for 8 hours. So who knows? I'll have to check in with him about Desert Bus.
No, I would. I mean, that's a perfect subathon game, is it not?
Yeah.
I've never done one myself, but the problem is it does sound really boring. That's one where I'm like, is the idea just the fun part? You know,
I think you need to elevate it. You need to do
how do you
like
make
Desert
that?
Bus on a bus or something. You know, like you'd have to actually be on a bus, or every time you do something something happens, let's say something in the game, you have to go and get on a real bus and then come back.
I think it might be like an only way out is through thing where like after a certain amount of time you'd enter a state of delirium.
Yeah.
And then it'd be fun for 45 minutes and it'd become a slog again.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
Anyway, let's get back in our memories to that bit where Libby said that she had no thoughts, so that I can come back in with the segue I was going to say. So speaking of thoughts, we do have one today. Let's do our British thought of the week.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
Today's British thought of the week, of course, is bottle kicking. Bottle kicking. Now, before I explain what bottle kicking is, I am curious, Lauren, to see if you have any guesses for what you think British bottle kicking might mean.
It's bottle kicking, K-I-C-K-I-N-G.
That's right.
Is that something that happens to you if you've upset someone in a pub afterwards?
Now, how would that work? Bottle kicking? Do they put the bottles? Do they kick like you and the bottle at the same time? Is that what's going on?
Someone with two mates holding your arms.
Yeah.
And a bottle is then kicked at you in a sort of ritualistic punishment, going back to like another schoolyard game. That's my best guess.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. As like the trial of the kicked bottle or something. You know, like
what's
the
good about
cutters.
this is you've landed on British, like often when it comes to these British sort of games, right? You've landed on it's about drinking, and it's like unnecessarily violent, which is like two things that bottle kicking definitely does have. So this is, I want to say that this is actually kind of, it feels closest to something like the cheese rolling, maybe the closest we've gotten to something like cheese rolling again, in that it's a game, but it's also a tradition, but also a lot of the people involved in it describe it as a war as well, or like a battle too, because it takes place in Leicestershire, in the village of Hallerton every Easter Monday. I should have said Leicestershire. I didn't. I got nervous.
You got worried. It's
thinking,
like
I got nervous
when
thinking I would say it wrong.
Americans tell me, "Oh, it's so hard to say, Worcestershire sauce," and I'm like, "No, it's not. You just say Worcestershire. Fucking, it's just Worcestershire. It's just listen to it."
It takes place in Leicestershire. That's where it takes place.
Fucking Americans, eh?
I know.
Fucking stupid twats.
It's okay.
We're hogs.
I can't talk today, so I just got to make fun of myself. It's fine. So this is also another sort of classic British thing, which is the village rivalries too. That's also a big part of it because it takes place in the village of Hallerton, but the opposing team is the village of Medbourne, the sort of neighboring village. And the way that the game works is that it's not a bottle. It is a small cask of ale or beer that they cool a bottle for some reason unknown. And what happens is that the two teams, which I should say are basically, from what I can tell, seem to be the entire villages. Like all of the people from both villages go into the playing area, which is a mile long.
Jesus.
And they throw down 3 of these bottles. Now, importantly, only 2 of them are full of beer, and the other one is not. That is the dummy. But that's fine. That's just a part of it.
Right.
We don't know the origins of that in particular. They throw them down, and then they just sort of have to. Each team has to just sort of try and get the bottle to their side of the playing field, which is dictated by there apparently like 2 streams on either end of this like mile long, just like, and it's not even like it's one field, right? Yeah. It's like multiple fields, and they still sort of have to like climb over like fences and hedges and stuff to be getting the bottle to their side. So that's bottle kicking. Any questions before I get into any more of this? I do have some videos as well.
I just want to comment briefly on the tragedy of the Enclosure Act once again, ruining our beautiful fields. So it's like an 18th century law, Charlotte, that
I see.
Fenced in all of the fields of Britain and thus ruined our beautiful rolling landscape in the pursuit of ever higher profits and capitalism. Anyway, that sounds fucking stupid as hell. I was going to say it's a waste of beer, but obviously it's not, because it's English beer, so it's shit anyway.
Right, and it's been, this is the ideal way to consume English true ale, right? Is for it to be put in a tiny little barrel and then just sort of like kicked and thrown around by a bunch of guys
shaken
for like a couple
margarita,
hours.
Yeah.
You don't want to, it's going to be flat as fuck if it wasn't already going in. But yeah, this is a tradition. Go ahead, Lauren.
Well, I don't have any questions, but I do have a general theory of how traditions like this start.
Yes.
And if you can just like picture the scenario here, it's the year like 117 AD. And a Romanized priest has come to a small part of the United Kingdom and is confronting a crowd of very angry Saxons.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, instead of sacrificing this child, here's what we're going to do. And he's just looking around and he sees a big barrel to the side.
Yep.
And says, we're just going to kick this instead.
and that's how we got the most powerful empire that the world has ever seen. Is some Roman was like, what if instead we just kick this barrel, and then maybe things will work a bit better, and then then we ended up with the BBC and Mr. Bean. So
and that process repeated itself hundreds of times across the landscape. Yeah.
Yes. In all different cheese rolling probably was at one point, a baby's head or something, and then the Romans came and said, "Don't do that. Don't do. What are you doing? That's crazy. Just roll some cheese instead," and they did.
These Romans sound so lovely and sensible, from what I can tell.
Comparatively.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're, in terms of the origin of this one, I mean, who's to say, right? This one, the records of it go back to the late 18th century. And they do have a little story about how they think it came to be. Although the sort of origin of this is going to be confusing, because apparently it began with 2 women from Howell who were being charged at by a bull, right?
Why?
But a hare startled the bull and saved them. Right?
Okay.
So that's obviously and then the logic of it obviously leads perfectly into the kicking of the bottle. So it does seem as though the sort of like the bottles of ale was sort of part of this sort of celebration from the hair helping to not hurt the women, and then they also obviously baked the hair itself into a pie to sort of thank the
no
hair.
good deed goes unpunished. Yeah.
Yeah, the hair was being nice.
That's a big part of it as well. And then it seems as though at some point, this is all happening in Hallerton. At some point, the villagers of Medbourne just sort of wanted in on the spoils of this celebration, and so sort of kind of like came in and tried to fuck shit up, and that is where it sort of stems
the rivalry.
From.
Yes,
the rivalry and the sort of like the fighting over the stuff. It does still happen. I did find some footage of this year's bottle kicking, but I don't want to show it to you because the first frame of it is a guy covered in blood, right? Because it
makes sense. Yeah,
this is definitely, if we're going to look at our graph of what's harmful or not, this is high up on the list of harmful ones. I should read you the list of rules. Okay. There are basically no rules, but no eye gouging,
okay,
no strangling, and no weapons. Those are the three rules.
My immediate thought is that doesn't seem to have a lot to do with kicking a bottle. That seems to have more to do with wanting to fight someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And it does seem like the bottle kicking part of this, a lot of it is about just sort of wanting to fight. So I'm going to show you this video that seemed best, which is this is from the BBC archive. There is an older one of these as well, but this one felt like it was the most sort of like instructive about sort of the whole event, I guess. So let's have a look at this.
The most picturesque village in Leicestershire is without dispute Hallerton. It has a strange conical market cross and an even stranger annual event, part gastronomic, part barbaric. Every Easter Monday since 1770.
Now that's a fucking proper nan, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a proper nan here.
The rector has token payment for the rent
she's making
of the
the hair
is
pie.
Required to provide 2 hair pies and a nut.
Also, the thing
so
that they've said.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
The thing they said about the hair pie is that so in this video I think they had some frozen, but these days they don't even use hair because hair is just sort of like out of season during Easter Monday when they do this. I believe it's Easter Monday.
Now, strange gratitude, it ends up in a pie.
Looks like a good crust, I have to say.
There aren't many hairs around Hallerton,
I'm impressed. This is a culinary nan for sure.
No shorting in that. All real animal fat.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. No, there's a pig's worth of lard in that pie.
So obviously the thing you want to do with this lovely pie that this wonderful woman has made for the whole town. So
when the pie appears,
this is Wicker Man footage. This is terrifying.
It is a little terrifying.
It really is.
Easter Monday is the day at Hallerton for fun.
It does. The pie does sort of look like maybe there's a person in it and not a hair.
And like carrying it, like the ritual of carrying it around is very like the town exile is in here.
Where's the fucking bagpipes? Okay, bagpipes is not Leicestershire.
He's always keen to produce.
No, that's right, but they are doing that here.
Having a bit of fun, aren't they?
That's part of it.
Festooned with signs saying no pies, no pies.
So I believe this aspect of because it's like a whole day's worth of stuff that they do, and the bottle kicking is just sort of like it's near the end. So you would have seen there in this video just sort of throwing the pie into the crowd. So this is the pie, the hair pie scattering. So this woman goes through all this effort to make a nice pie for the town, and then the vicar blesses the pie, and then there is a parade with the pie, and then you just sort of chuck the pie at all of the people.
She needn't have bothered, honestly.
This is
okay, no, but they are still eating it, the thrown pie.
Yes. Goal is sort of catch the pie and then have some of the pie.
Yeah. And some flat beer also.
Nice little beer, yeah.
And then the parade continues, and then we're heading towards the bottle kicking itself.
Okay.
So this is, we have the little barrels here, the tiny little barrels of ale, which do just like look like teeny tiny like kegs, basically, right?
Yeah, they're very cute.
They are cute. Honestly, they are real cute.
Two teams. The men of Howell.
Then they probably get good use the rest of the year making the most disgusting homebrew you've ever tasted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, making beer out of piss and coal.
So what they do is they throw the keg up 3 times, and on the third time, that's when shit starts to go down.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
The object of the game is to get the casks across the village stream. No holds are barred.
Here's my question.
Go ahead.
Did they do this in 2021?
Oh, that's no. They must have, because look, frankly,
you couldn't socially distance this.
No, and you weren't. The rules in the UK were fucking strict as hell. I wasn't even allowed to visit my mum in the hospice properly and stuff. We only just. The timing only just worked out so that my aunt could come and see her when she was dying. So you really fucking had to you couldn't be scrambling around in a field for a keg. You had to be
And you're a country of law respecters, so that's stood. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. No, exactly. Well, because here's the thing: is what we are is a country of curtain twitchers, and people loved dobbing other people in for violations of social distancing laws in the UK. I mean, there was a whole scandal about it because of Boris and Partygate. So it's no, there's absolutely no way you would have gotten away with that.
I do have the data on this. Okay, so the tradition has been cancelled only twice in the 200 years that we've known that it's going on, based on records. Yep. Once in 2001 because of concerns over foot and mouth disease. Do you remember that whole thing, Libby? That was a classic.
Yep, I do. Yeah.
And then it was also cancelled once in 2020 due to COVID, but not in 2021. They brought it back in 2021.
Okay.
I suppose in 2021, if it's in the later part of the year, then, people would have been maybe vaccinated, hopefully.
You'd hope so. I have some slightly more modern footage again. It was very, very fun to me to see the old footage of the guy throwing it up and then just see that they literally are doing it. I mean, this is the tradition, I guess. They're just doing it in the exact same way now.
Yeah.
As a reward, the hare was made
that was.
into
Can you
a
just
pie,
go back
to
the throw?
Along
Because the throw was literally exactly the Donkey Kong throw.
Okay.
Watch how he throws it on the ground.
I should also describe the scene to the listeners here, because this is just what I would call a gaggle of lads. It's just so many. It's so many lads here.
Yeah,
and it does seem like this is the most it's clear. It's very clear when you look at the whole day that all of the lads just show up for this part, just so they can fucking just sort of clobber each other and kick each other, and be the heroes of the town, trying to do this thing with the bottle. Watch this throw again. Up. it really is Donkey Kong.
It's properly Donkey Kong, yeah.
How else are you going to throw a barrel, really? That's
true.
one probably where there's way more research they do in making Donkey Kong than we give them credit for.
Maybe they watched this video,
Maybe.
There's some footage here of kids just jumping over the fence as well. That's an important part of the whole thing.
Oh my god. Just thinking about how many drunk teenagers that there would be around. How many teenagers' first snogs happen at the bottle kicking contest over the last 1,000 years?
And the use of weapons are not permitted, but the odd injury still occurs, even if you aren't a local.
I do think it's relevant that the second SEO link when you Google bottle kicking was someone saying I was paralyzed at the bottle kicking.
No. Oh, mate, that's not a good reason for that to happen to you, is it? That's not worth it at all.
No, that really, it is one of those things where I think similar to the cheese rolling, they do just have the ambulances just sort of on standby as well for this one. It seems nasty. It seems like things really do get nasty, and this sort of makes sense as well, given that this is a very old British tradition that it's might have been pagan at some point. That's one of the things they say. And then the other thing that people in these villages like to say as well is that this is the genesis of rugby. That's another one that they like to bring up. I mean, it does sort of the it looks like scrums, right?
It does look like scrum. Scrum is the word that I thought of when I saw all those men's bums suddenly. I was like, this is a scrum bum.
Mm-hmm.
I think men independently reinvent kicking the shit out of each other anywhere in time and space.
So true. It's so true. I do really like it when these villagers with their ridiculous traditions either try to claim they invented something that also happened somewhere else, like the wife carrying in Finland, or they just straight up are like, yeah, and also this is why we have chips now. And it's just like, no, you just made that up. You fucking made that up. What are you talking about? But they tell everyone who's born in the village that that's true, and so it gets repeated.
Yes, no, absolutely. Well, yeah, let's decide where we want to put bottle kicking on our graph. With harmless at the bottom, harmful at the top, wonderful on the left, and stupid bullshit on the right.
Ooh.
I think it's got to be very high up on the harmful axis.
Yes. I mean, if someone was literally paralyzed, it's got to be at least as high as cheese rolling, I would say.
Oh, 100%. No one died doing cheese rolling, right?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure that there are records lost to time of some bloke in 1372.
They really don't respect Valhalla at all.
No, they're all laughing behind their hands in Valhalla at the guy who died doing cheese rolling. They're like, "Oh, sure, mate. Yeah, we'll invite you. We'll let you know what the plan is this weekend." No fucking chance. No chance. I would say that this is probably kind of top right, as in most harmful, most stupid bullshit. I think it kind of sucks.
Yeah, there is I don't think I put it all the way over to I like the pie throwing stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Right, and it is definitely the bottle kicking aspect of this is the bit that gets sort of the most promoted because it is the craziest part of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's if we're just focused on the bottle kicking itself, I think I agree. It's just kind of it is just stupid, and I wish that people didn't do it. I think that's sort of where I'm at.
I tell you what, the position of Dwyle flunking, I think we maybe need to make a new version of this graph where Dwyle flunking is a little bit further to the right, because I think Dwyle flunking is the most annoying, stupid bullshit maybe ever, because it is made up in the fucking 1960s, and so it's not even real. It's not it's pretending to be medieval when it's not. And so it's hard for me to say that this thing, which is legitimately old, is as stupid bullshit as Dwyle flunking, for example.
Right.
So yeah, maybe it's
actual
top,
tradition,
but not quite all the way to the right. Yeah.
We do need to, because Dwyle flunking is it should be all the way over to the right, and it's just it's a little bit. It's mostly to the right in its own square. But I do think that should be all the way in stupid bullshit, because I do hate Dwyle flunking a lot. But yeah, because I think of the I guess just because it is an actual tradition that has been carried on for a very long time, it is fun to me to go back and see the footage of it from the 60s and see them still doing it in pretty much exactly the same way. It is truly the bottle kicking part of it is just once a year all of the boys get to sort of beat each other up.
Yeah.
Maybe that aspect of it is something that, I don't know, we should take a sideways look at and perhaps say, I don't know, maybe there's a different. Well, could we do bottle talking? Is it time for some bottle talking? Who holds the bottle? Who says a grievance that they have? The other. Then you hold it to the next person. They say, "I hear your grievance." Perhaps it's time for bottle talking. So maybe we can get that going in Leicestershire. But yeah, Lauren, how do you feel about that placement of bottle kicking?
I think as an American, as a gormless, cultureless American, I'm too easily charmed by a lot of things in the UK. So I would defer to you two, because if this was something that took place in Kansas City, I would be repulsed by it.
Yeah.
If this is something they did in Philadelphia, I would have so much intense loathing for this. And they might actually do this in Philadelphia.
I'm just thinking about
the rotisserie chicken.
The Kansas version of this where it's gun kicking. We've been doing this for decades. I understand. And I think I have a sort of a British resentfulness that is making me hate this a little bit more. I think maybe the guys should consider, instead of kicking each other, why not just have a nice kiss? I think they should all kiss each other instead of kicking the bottle.
Just talk about your feelings.
Yeah, have a cuddle. Yeah.
That would be lovely. I mean, you're already basically cuddling in the scrum, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What if they all just decide
fuck each other already?
Lie down? Exactly. All right.
I do also appreciate that the Wikipedia page for this has like more than one visible ass crack.
Okay, now that I do like. Maybe it's a little bit less stupid bullshit than I thought. That's really, really nice.
Okay, well, that's good. I think that might have just come from us, this particular British Thought of the Week. Although there was that one person who suggested like 20 of them, and I have a feeling that if I go back to that list, it will probably be there. But all the same, if you're out there and you have an idea for a British Thought, if perhaps you have one in your mind, or you just have a question about Britishness that you want us to answer, do send us an email to whatsallthispost@gmail.com. Let's do the main topic, shall we? I believe it is time for us to talk about rounders. We brought rounders to you, Lauren, because of your baseball podcast. But what do you know about the game rounders?
I know very little about rounders. Libby told me to not do too much research, I believe. Okay. Or I interpreted that from what she did say, because it meant I had to do less work.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'm trying to make sure I understand, there's no professional version of rounders, right? There's no like adult paid league for this. It's mostly for like entertainment and school children.
Yes, I think that is right. I believe that there is something, like with all sports, there is something. You know, there's like an
kick it off kind of league.
Yeah. There's like, there's an American rugby league. There's
right.
people doing all kinds of things. I did find a YouTube video, a YouTube account, that claims to be the official account of Rounders England. And just to give you a sense of how popular Rounders is, it only has 1,300 subscribers. So I think it's very possible that within, I don't know, less than a year, we're going to have more subscribers on YouTube than Rounders England.
Well, because I also saw, I went looking for lots of Rounders videos, and importantly for this episode, a lot of it is quite boring.
It's so boring.
But one of the things that is important to say is I did find a video that was, okay, maybe this wasn't like a big event, but it seemed to be England versus Wales in the Rounders, right? And it was still just some people in a field, with no one watching and maybe one person with a camera. And I was like, okay, so this is sort of the level that we're at. Now, I do think that there are different versions of it that maybe more people watch, but it's definitely not at like a point where it's being like televised or whatever. The way that I have interacted with Rounders in my own life, and I think it's probably pretty similar with Libby, is it is a game that they make you play at school, right?
Yes. I do want to note, I just looked at the Rounders England website and clicked the About Us page, and it says the National Rounders Association was formed by a small group of teachers in 1943 with the primary aim of standardizing the rules. So it is essentially something that just exists to have, to take up the time of school children.
So this is totally outdated tech. Like dodgeball now exists. You can just do that instead.
100%. Yes, exactly. No, this is a very ancient game that they should have given up on a long time ago. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I hated it at school. I hate it. It was so embarrassing. I never hit the ball once. Humiliating to be laughed at for my wild swings. And it was all not as bad as hockey, because hockey was the worst because we had to do field hockey at school. And that one, man, that sucked. God, that was horrible. So muddy and nasty and wet and rainy and
This does kind of explain something I'm trying to figure out on my side of the podcasting world, which is why baseball seems to think there's like a market for professional baseball in the UK. And I think, they have realized that there is like okay, they are used to boring things over there. They like boring things.
Yes.
So we can move in and tap into that.
Yeah, I think it's very telling that people seem to take the British equivalent of baseball to be not rounders but cricket. Because cricket is a very similar sport to baseball in a lot of ways. It takes a long fucking time. It's you're hitting a ball with a bat. Someone has to throw the ball back to a guy to get you out. You have to run back and forth between, in cricket, you're running back and forth between 2 points. In baseball, obviously, you're running around the bases, but it's a very similar concept.
Yeah, and it's way bigger in Asia than the starter country now. Yeah, same as baseball.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's that cricket is a big deal and has a league and money and stuff in it. Whereas rounders, there are people who play it and there are leagues and stuff, but it's nowhere near the same. It's You know what? I also wonder if part of the thing here is that America has channels that are like ESPN 7 or whatever, where they're showing like the cornhole championships or whatever. I don't think we really have anything like that in the UK, or at least we didn't when I was growing up. We didn't have any venue to watch silly stuff like this.
Unfortunately, I'm so far out of my depth on this one, because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just not a sports person. Which is fine. I guess we have like darts. People really love darts to watch. That's a good one. One of the things. Okay, I want to go back a second, but then I want to explain why I think rounders is not. People don't care about it when it comes to actual like watching the sport. But to sort of explain, because it is basically like baseball in lots of ways. I think you would sort of, to look at it, if you knowing what baseball is, you would be like, okay, this is just sort of like a British version of baseball, except there are a few things that are different about it. There's no strike system, right? So the ball is thrown, and then if you don't hit it, but has been thrown in a way where you should have been reasonably able to hit it, then you still have to run to the first base, right? And so you sort of like have a little chance there of like, maybe they're not going to throw it to the first base to get me out as fast, as opposed to, well, you just didn't hit it 3 times and so you fucked up, mate. The other thing about it is that the bat is, I would say, if you're comparing it to baseball, comically small. Because of the fact that, and the other part of it, you don't have to only hold it with one hand, but most people do only hold it with one hand. And then the other thing is that it has the softball bowling technique as well. It has to be like an underarm throw.
Underhand pitch, right.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff that sort of, I think, makes it it makes it look like even the people who are good at it are like not good at like sports. And I think that's a key reason that I think it like, I can imagine that Rounders has had a hard time expanding outside of the world of like primary and secondary schools, is because it's just like, it's a softball throw. It's just I'm whacking it. Even if I don't hit it, I'm still running. It's just, it all seems like, watching adults play it, a lot of it still seemed like sort of like school level. Maybe I just hadn't found the right stuff, but that was kind of my general feeling on it.
No, I think that's like a very similar thing to baseball, where it's like, of the major North American sports, it's the one where most people think like, yeah, that guy just looks like he sells software for a living.
Yes.
Right.
Because there are some like super elite, like jacked athletes in baseball now, but for a long time, it was a sport you could play hungover, and they did. So I think there's a similarity there where like, it's not something you necessarily need a super athletic looking guy to play it. Although that's changing. All the pitchers now are 6'4" Adonises, like Ohtani.
Yes. Yes.
But historically, you could look like a schlub and succeed in baseball.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about it. I have a question about baseball, which is, now there's something about watching Rounders where I'm like, I inherently understand that this is stupid, in part because of, Charlotte, what you were saying about you're holding the bat with one hand and it's small, and no matter how good you are, you do sort of look like a mum, like playing with your kids. It's just oh, there we go. Oh, let's just give it a good whack or whatever. It looks unprofessional. Baseball does look. I mean, I've been to baseball games. Obviously, it's an enormous, billions of dollars industry or whatever. What is good about baseball, Lauren?
What's good about baseball is my dad liked it, so I like it.
You know what? 100. I completely get that.
There's actually one of my favorite things about baseball is that it's essentially it's a game of loss.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a bit of a sadistic appreciation.
Yes.
You'll hear from fans where like the most agonizing thing you can watch is your team winning. That's part of the appeal for me. I also like the statistics side of it, which is such a nerdy thing to say.
Sure.
But there's like 100 years of stats you can argue about and have like endless debates about like, should this guy be in the Hall of Fame? Is this guy better than this guy? That's like enough fodder for conversation about baseball. And also like there is like a certain, because it's such a discrete action in sport, because like there's no two players are ever really doing something at the same time in baseball. It's usually either the pitcher pitching, the hitter hitting, or someone in the field fielding. So it's all very discrete. So you get a lot of like moments of incredible athleticism, and you get like 2 of those over 3 hours, and that's kind of what you're watching for. Like we actually just finished one of the best World Series in recent memory. Los Angeles Dodgers took it in 7 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Mm-hmm. Incredible performances throughout from one guy, and about a half dozen incredibly clownish performances throughout from everyone else. And that together, it's the fact that it's when they make mistakes that it's fun.
Yes.
And that's something that may be different from a lot of other sports.
Yeah. No, I completely relate to that. I can certainly see how, like, especially with Ohtani just being like so like
perfect in every possible way.
Comically good at the sport, and you know, compared to the gap between the second best player and him being so hilarious. I can almost imagine. I'm never going to get into a sport properly. It's too late now, but I could almost imagine that being a way into baseball. I've enjoyed going to baseball games just because I think baseball stadiums are fun. They're fun, vibey places, you know?
Well, they're very good at putting on a show for the people who show up. I've been to see the Jays like multiple times and could not tell you a single detail about what happened in the games, but I can tell you about the beer that I had and, you know, all of the singing that I got to do, and how I guess you can also play the lottery there or whatever. Like all of that stuff. It's just like they're adding so many things to the experience to just make it a nice thing to do with your friends. I will say it's really good. I think that neither me nor Libby were into baseball because I've seen a lot of animosity directed at the people of Toronto from my American friends lately, and I'm very happy that I didn't care about it at all because I feel like it could have ended the podcast, to be honest, Libby, if both of us cared about that World Series.
Yeah. Sounds like sore loser shit to me, but
you are avoiding a lot of heartbreak. The Toronto fans in my life are very devastated the last couple of days. One of the most brutal losses I've seen in recent memory.
Really nasty, yeah.
But to your point about how like just the experience of a game is so nice, I think it's a very American thing where a lot of baseball evolved in almost like a hucksterish, put on a show kind of mid 20th century attitude where like the goal really was just to get people to buy tickets and show up. Yeah. Less than like and they kind of knew they were dealing with a fun but not that fun product. So they had to innovate a lot and do like the silly little runs, the concessions, the buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack, the songs, the guy on the organ doing a bunch of like pop hits. LA does have the best organist of all time, Dieter Rule. But like you don't get the salmon run, which is where the Mariners take 4 guys in fish costumes and have them run around the field after the 6th inning, without there being like a bit of like an old timey American hucksterish element to the sport.
Yes, totally.
So that's part of the American appeal to me, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the fish is named Humpy.
Humpy. Oh.
Yeah, it's king, sockeye, silver, and Humpy.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's
nice. No, I think you're absolutely right that there is something nice to me about baseball in a way that I've been to hockey games, I've been to NBA games, And there is, and in fact, I've been to soccer games. I never went to a soccer game in the UK. I've only been in the US. And there's something nice about baseball in a way that there isn't about these other sports. And it is this sort of like, I guess it is partly like an old-fashioned thing, but I don't know what it is. Is it just vibes? Is it just because the game, like you say, the game is more boring, and so people are less like intense about it? You know, not to say that obviously there are very intense baseball fans. But yeah, it is just it's a bit silly, isn't it? But they don't do that with cricket, and cricket's boring as fuck. So maybe they should start doing that with cricket. Maybe they should have like, you know, Boris the Badger or something running around with, you know, is Willie out? I don't know.
Is Willie out? Boris the Badger, yeah, is Willie. It's Willie out. Oh, yay, all the children clap when they see it's Willie. I mean, this is maybe how rounders can sweep in, right? If cricket is already boring and they're not trying to do anything to make it more interesting. I mean, it lasts such a fucking long time as well, cricket. It's like days and days that matches can go on. Maybe rounders do just need the mascots, you know? But
I have a pitch,
do they
actually.
really do a lot of mascots in the UK? Is that like a fairly... Okay. So I think of America and Japan as like the mascot countries, generally.
Yes, I really think there are very few mascots in the UK at all. I don't know if they have them at all in soccer.
That's the main reason you have a reputation for being like bleak and lifeless. There's not enough guys in silly costumes.
We definitely don't have enough whimsy. And the things that Americans think of as whimsically British are things that to us are deeply serious and depressing and terrible.
I do think
you totally understand baseball already.
Yeah. If you were the mascot at the football game, that is maybe the most dangerous role to have in the whole team, because you really are just like the punching bag for the other team if they decide to go hooligan mode on you. So I wonder if they have perhaps tried to incorporate mascots into. And
it's like a hair of the Greyhound situation. Yeah.
They tried to have like a big baked bean or something, and he just got kicked to death, and so they never had it again.
Oh god. But I mean, if they're going to rehabilitate sort of the image of rounders, they probably need to be doing a better job at sort of like making kids interested in it in school if they're going to force us all to play. Because I definitely had similar experiences to what you're describing, Libby, of the sort of like the humiliation of playing rounders. I guess it is all just sort of leading up to that one moment of you have to go and try and hit the ball with your bat and not being able to do it and feeling really bad, and them saying you have to go and run anyway. Most of my rounders experiences, though, was going as far out into the outfield as I possibly could, and sort of trying to find the optimal place to stand where I thought the ball would be least likely to come.
Yes.
That was a lot of my experience playing this game.
This is 100% also how many American children interact with baseball and softball.
Interesting.
It is like the archetypal thing to be like, as you want to be in left field because the ball's never going to get hit there at that level.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting because, and yet they grow up to like it.
Well, I think there's an infrastructure difference too. You probably don't have batting cages, whereas like every single like municipal park in the U.S. for the last 100 years has had batting cages where you can go and like really just ruin your arms for a couple days.
Yeah. Oh, it hurts so much. I've done it once and I had no idea how much it was going to hurt. Because I was doing like the slowest pitch that there was, and I was like, this fucking hurts so much. And the bat is like metal, and you hear it, you could feel it vibrating all down your muscles. It's crazy.
And to be clear, it's not getting hit by the ball that hurts. It's swinging the bat and making contact that hurts like hell.
Yeah.
It's a bad experience.
But that's the thing
it's horrible.
You want to do.
Yeah, I know. Why would we want to do?
That's another weird baseball thing. Like 90% of it comes down to like how quick your wrists are. Like there's like professional and like a schlub is almost entirely like how quickly they can move their wrists. The human wrist wasn't really meant to do that.
Yes, it seems to be a running theme with a lot of high-level sports is people doing stuff that the human body is not meant to do, and it hurting them a lot, and getting grievously injured. Okay, so Charlotte, I'm interested in your. I mean, you know, it sounds like your rounders experience was roughly the same as my at my school. Sports was very gendered, and so we played almost entirely different sports from the boys. The boys got to do cricket and rugby, and we had to do fucking rounders and hockey, and then like these like track things. Oh, and netball, of course, netball. And it wasn't that the boys were doing basketball; it was that the girls did netball. And I would say that even the girls who were very good at netball and hockey and who bullied me and my friends for not being good at those sports did not seem to give a shit about rounders. That was fucking hell, it's rounders again,
Yes. I was this is pretty much confirmed for me as well. So I went to an all boys school. Or so they thought.
What the fuck? How'd they let you in, eh?
So I think because of that, I didn't get to see the ways that the sports were sort of driven up, like divvied up, I guess, across gender lines. But my understanding very much is that I do think we played less rounders probably than we maybe played like rugby. Rugby, I will flag up rugby as the one sport that I like enjoyed and almost got into as well. Right at the beginning of secondary school, I was having a great time playing rugby, and I did try out for the school team, and then they put me in the second team instead of the first one, and I thought, well, if I'm not naturally good enough to go into the first team, I'm simply never going to try out any sport ever again, which is what happened. But yeah, I was looking on Reddit just to see sort of like the consensus on rounders as a sport. So much of rounders talk on Reddit again is the movie, but I did find this one post. My school was really into sport, but rounders was still the joke one. If you weren't good enough to play rugby, football, or cricket on the school teams, and also didn't display a general aptitude for athletics, tennis, or badminton, you ended up doing rounders. So it truly is like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the sport that you would end up doing. Now, I will say, watching videos of people playing rounders, is it fun to watch as a game that I would want to, see on TV? No, because I think it's impossible for me to separate it from the game that you play as a kid that you sort of don't really like. But watching it, I was like, you know what? This looks kind of easy. And now that I'm at a point in my life where I sort of don't really care about being bad at things as much anymore, I was like, I would kind of play rounders. I think I actually would sort of be interested in playing rounders now with just like a nice group of people who just want to have a fun time. It feels like it's that kind of game to me.
Yes, it's like a game you play in the park with your friends. It's not like it doesn't strike me as like a real game. It's a game you buy. To me, it's like, I'm going to buy a rounders set from Target for like $11, and I'm going to go play it with my friends in the park. It's not a real game. I have a question about baseball. Now, as a stupid person going to my first baseball game. And poor Lewis having to explain to me how it works, and he has to do this every time we go to a game.
He loves it. No man doesn't love explaining baseball to a woman.
It's so true. I didn't realize how much of see, to me, as a person whose entire experience of these types of games was going up to the plate at rounders and just absolutely praying that I was going to make contact with the ball, and then waiting for it to be over. I didn't realize that a lot of baseball, and tell me if I'm wrong, seems to be about knowing whether the ball that is coming towards you is going to be a ball or a not ball.
Yeah, that's more or less correct.
Right. That sucks. That seems like that would be so stressful, because all I'd be thinking about is hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball. And it seems like that whereas in rounders it seems like you can run even if it's not a ball, so it seems like it doesn't really matter whether or not it's a ball, because you could just run anyway.
Because if they throw the ball wrong, I think it's twice, then you get a point, which is they call a rounder, right? I think you can, if they throw it at you right and you hit it, you can decide not to run if you don't want to. If you think the ball is going in a direction, you're like, they're definitely going to catch that, I'm not going to run. Like, you have like a few opportunities to not do it. But then, you can not have it go in the wrong place and you can still run. That's also a part of it. The other part of it I didn't mention as well is if you get halfway, they give you half a point. You can decide to stop, and then you can get half a rounder as well. So that's
baby baseball.
It really is baby baseball, isn't it?
Yeah, it's baseball for babies and girls. Yeah.
No, I think actually you're getting to something that is like the origin of like the tracing the history of baseball. It only really became baseball when pitching became like a separate, like a parallel part of the game to hitting.
Right.
Very early in the sport's history, it was very much like you're just trying to get the ball over the plate. Then some asshole just like one day was like, if I throw it with my fingers held kind of funny, they can't hit it.
Right.
And that guy changed the whole trajectory forever. And now, to your point about like you can't have a conscious thought in your brain at all. You have to be running entirely on instinct because in the present game, no ball is coming at you less than 150 kilometers an hour.
Fucking mental. That is mental, by the way. How fast that ball goes. It goes way
too fast. I'm very like hearing out all of this. I'm really happy that Rounders was the one I had to play because like the idea of playing baseball instead of this is terrifying. To me. Honestly.
Now, I do think you would enjoy a softball league because softball is very much more. And I played softball for quite a while as an adult, and it is very much like the pitching is way less important. You're just taking a couple swings. You'll probably hit 2 out of 3 times.
Yeah.
Way more casual, although I do think there's a risk probably with adult rounders, as there is with adult softball, of guys taking it way too seriously.
Yes.
Which is why you got to find like the local like gay rounders club. That's going to be the one where it's a little more calm and fun and like you maybe drink a beer between innings.
What's all this then? Gay
nice.
Rounders League. That's got a ring to it. Yeah,
that does.
Yeah.
I do like this. This could be the sort of thing that would get me out to actually play a sport because everyone says that that's a good thing to do. All I do is just go on my little walks, and that's.
I thought you were going to say all I do is go on my computer, and I was going to be like, "That's great. Go on computer."
I basically also do just go on the computer. I mean, it's embarrassingly, as you were talking about, sort of the throwing of the ball and knowing whether or not it's a ball that you should hit or not. I was like, this just sounds exactly like fighting games, which is another genre of game that I'm really not interested in playing. That's sort of like the mind game part of it all, but also it's a version of that that's going to make your arm hurt a lot. I don't think it's for me. I do think it is of note to talk about the history of rounders just a little bit. Because it does, because I mean, it is one of these things, right, where it does seem like the British would like to say that we invented baseball because we invented rounders, right?
Yeah,
and so that is an element of it. And very confusingly, rounders is first mentioned in a 1744 children's book, but it is called baseball in the book.
Yes. It is called baseball in the book.
It is called baseball in the book. I need to read the title of the book.
I was going to ask you to do this.
This is important to read the title of the book, where rounders/baseball is mentioned for the first time. The book is called A Little Pretty Pocket Book Intended for the Amusement of Little Master Tommy and Pretty Miss Polly with 2 letters from Jack the Giant Killer. It is said to be the first book for children. So that's the name of the book. Whatever happened to titling books like that? I mean, that's crazy.
I just don't know why Americans make so much fun of us, you know? Totally sensible country. I don't know why it called baseball if it rounders. I'm not sure about that. That don't make any sense to me. No. The picture is not very. I don't think the picture really gives us a lot of extra information here. What this looks like to me is 3 blokes in coats playing, waving to each other in a graveyard. This doesn't look like baseball at all.
There's an important part of this picture as well that is missing, which is that they do not have a bat in it, which is crazy.
No. Yeah. The ball once struck off, away flies the boy to the next destined post, and then home with joy. And that was like all you had in those days. You didn't have telly or anything. You had that fucking little rhyme. Really, really sucks. Don't like that. I would be mad if I was a 7-year-old in 1744 and someone gave me that and was like, there you go. Here's your book. I'd be like,
Yeah,
great,
well, of course,
thanks.
if you did get the book as well, and you were a boy, then you got a ball to come with it, which is fun. And if you were a girl, then you
okay.
got a pin cushion because that's for you. So that's
Man, that rocks.
1744, I suppose. That's how they.
That's
were doing
very
things
advanced
back then.
marketing for the time.
Yeah,
Mhm, yeah, no,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, should we rank it? Should we rank rounders?
We should rank rounders on our supermarket themed tier list system, with S tier being Waitrose, A being Marks and Spencer, B being Sainsbury's, C being Tesco, D Morrison's, E Asda, and F Iceland. Where are we going to put rounders? Libby, would you like to start?
Look, I'll say this for Rounders. When I was trying to do some research, I watched a video from Rounders England, which was very well put together, and it was mostly people saying how nice Rounders is and how nice it's been. Everyone there is so nice to them. It's good, that sort of what you were saying about how it's good to go outside and play a sport with people. If you can find a way to do that in a non-toxic way, then I think that is really good. And I think that's nice for these ladies that they've had a nice time playing Rounders and that they didn't have the traumatic experience that I did of, standing up there with the bat and, going after Rose Skevington, who was great at everything. And then I go up there and then I try to hit it and I miss and everyone goes, because I went to school with a bunch of hags, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and put it in Iceland.
Wow. I don't
Fuck
even know.
Rounders.
What have we put in Iceland? The Daily Mail, I think. is
Just the Daily Mail.
Put the Daily Mail in Iceland, and now Libby's putting Rounders in there as well. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's, I mean...
Because of my trauma.
Hey, Libby, I'm sorry that happened to you. That sounds... I mean, you say it's fine, but then you also put it in Iceland, which is... I mean, I watched that same video.
Maybe not as bad as netball, where for some reason in year 10, they changed the way that the timetables was done so that me and one other girl, we were the only girls doing 2 languages. And because of this, we got put in completely different PE class with kids I'd never been with before. And I sort of tried to intimate to the PE teacher, hey, by the way, I know I'm shit at sport and it's kind of like awful. So can you stop just like trying to tell me to be better at netball? Because I'm not going to be better at netball. And what she interpreted that as, what I wanted was sort of standing next to me at the front of the class and saying, now, girls, I'm just, I've been speaking to Libby and could you please just be nicer to Libby? Because she's very nervous about being bad at netball. And so if you could just be nicer to her in front of these, terrifying girls who hated me. And all they knew about me was that I was good at French. So maybe not as bad as netball.
Yes. Wow. Amazing teaching, and explains why you're so well centered these days, Libby. As well. I think I'm going to. I think I don't think I have the same. Well, I definitely don't have the same level of trauma that you do, Libby, connected to Rounders. And I think thinking about the experiences I've had, because I just hated sport. I mean, this is really what it comes down to, right? There are other sports that I hated more. At least with Rounders, there's a lot of downtime, right? It's not fun to hit the ball, and if you can get, but most of the time you're just waiting to hit the ball, which is fine. Or waiting for other people to hit the ball because you hit it once and now you're done. Or you're just standing in a field trying to not catch a ball. It's not fun. It wasn't fun for me as a kid, but it wasn't fucking cross-country running, which just destroys you, and there's nothing you can do about it because you have to just be doing it the whole time all the way through. And feeling so bad in my heart and in my mind as I tried to do that. So I think, and then there's the other aspect of it, which I do, like I mentioned, I watched some videos and there were the lovely happy ladies saying they liked Rounders, and I thought, you know what, maybe Rounders isn't all that bad. So I'm going to put it in Morrison's. I think it's. I don't think it's all the way down there, but I ultimately don't think it's good. I don't think it's good, but it's not like totally shit. I don't think. So that's what I'm doing. Lauren, how are you feeling about your placement?
I think you both make pretty compelling cases. I agree that like one of the best things you can do, like for your mental well-being, physical well-being, is like find a recreational sport you can play. Mm-hmm. Keep it low stakes, keep it fun. That said, I'm going to do a cultural imperialism and say we've just invented better rules now. You can just play softball instead. Like it's kind of like driving an Edsel. It's not a classic car. It's just old.
Right.
You can just do better now. And that's softball. And also college softball, especially women's college softball, is fucking awesome. One of the coolest sports you can get into and some of the most competitive, fun sports you can find. So yeah, just play softball instead.
All right.
Put this in the dustbin of history.
I'm going to go
dustbin of history.
Yeah. I'm walking into my local queer Toronto softball. I'm saying, but would anyone like to try a game of rounders though? Oh, I got what is this? I have a container full of rounders bats. Look how small and cute they are. Maybe we could give this a go, everybody. Wouldn't that be fun? No, that's a very good point.
So where on the tier list are we going to put it, Lauren?
I'll split the difference and say the Asda tier.
Very, very smart. Yes, very reasonable.
Yes.
I understand that it probably isn't Iceland tier, and I did say it's not even as bad as having to play field hockey. But when we do an episode about playing field hockey at the Warner School between 2001 and 2004, then I'll put that in Iceland. But for now, Rounders is going in Iceland.
All right, I respect the decision.
Thank you,
Libby. You wouldn't happen to have a little game for us to play to finish this episode off now, would you?
Go on then. I suppose I will. So this game is called Debating Sandwiches. Because Lauren, of course, you're famous for rotating sandwiches. Instead, you're going to be debating sandwiches. I've got 2 sandwiches, one from the UK and one from America, and you guys are going to debate which one is best.
Okay. And so we are both sort of on the side of a particular sandwich here.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, Charlotte, you're in favor of the British sandwich, and Lauren, you're in favor of the American sandwich. That's easiest. So first up, we have Chip Butty in the UK corner versus Fluffernutter in the US corner.
Wow, I mean, both like crazy names for sandwiches to have. I think, which is I think that's a reason that this is a nice matchup. I mean, personally, I don't think there is anything better in this whole world than a carbohydrate. I think it is one of the best things that you can consume and do with your time is to have a carbohydrate. And what you're getting with the Chip Butty, of course, is double the carbohydrate that you're supposed to, and that's just simply wonderful. I fucking love chips. I love fries. I love bread as well. Put those 2 suckers together, and what do you got? And you might say, well, where's the sort of flavor variety? Nice to have some sweetness in there as well. That's why you get the ketchup and the butter.
That's why you get the ketchup
as well.
There. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's one of the greatest things that the United Kingdom has ever created.
Jesus!
So that's where I'm at. Am I not supposed to sort of argue in this way? Or do you want me to give my real opinion?
No, you are. No,
great,
you are. You're doing great. Lauren, what would you like to say in favor of Fluffernutter?
It's going to be hard for me to defend the Fluffernutter, which I find contemptible.
Whoa!
But if I can throw you a little curveball here, I can do another cultural imperialism and say we've invented a better Chip Buddy.
And what is the better Chip Buddy?
That is the New Orleans' own French fry po' boy.
Oh my God. I didn't know that you could do that.
For a long time growing up in New Orleans, it was the only vegetarian menu on a lot of only vegetarian option on a lot of restaurant menus.
Yes.
Was take a classic po' boy, which is a sandwich that dates back to the 1920 streetcar strikers strike. But it's like a 12-inch sandwich on French bread, really high-quality baguette, super crusty, super crisp, with perfectly fried New Orleans excellent French fries, either dressed or undressed. Undressed is just plain, maybe a little mayo, a little hot sauce. dresses where you add lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. And it is, in every way possible, superior to what I'm seeing on the screen right now. I'm sure there's probably nicer looking Chip Buddies out there. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying there's a certain hard cap that only a creation of New Orleans can push over the top.
Yeah. I did when possible pick Wikipedia photos for these because they are enormously funny to me.
I of course don't know exactly what a fluffernutter is, but I do see that it seems to have white paint in it, as far as I can tell from the image that I'm seeing. So I'm not particularly interested in that, and happy that the Chip Buddy has gone on is so good that it's gone on to inspire even better sandwiches. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Fluffernut, I believe, is marshmallow cream, which is a product I have never really engaged with myself.
No, it's basically not food. It's like a marshmallow spread, Charlotte, with peanut butter in a sandwich.
My understanding, peanut butter is also not as appreciated internationally as it is in the United States. Is that correct? Less of a thing in the UK, or is it catching on?
Much less of. I mean, it's definitely catching on, but it is definitely less of a thing as well. You're less likely to see, peanut butter desserts and so on.
We'll win you over. We'll keep working at it.
When I went to the UK last, I brought at the airport. I bought like a big Reese's cup thing to give to my friends' kids, thinking they're gonna fucking love this. I'm gonna bring them, I'm like an American GI bringing Hershey's to the children in Britain or whatever. And I was like, oh, they're gonna eat this up. Literally the Reese's cup. And then I saw it at the fucking WH Smith's. They got Reese's now in the UK. Wow. It's crazy.
Well, there you go.
We win again.
Yeah, I'm going to give that point to Charlotte, however, because she's right. Chip Buddy's better. All right. Fish finger sandwich in the UK.
This is all just going to be like you deciding which one you like the most in the end? Okay,
yes,
great,
it is.
perfect.
Yes. Fish finger sandwich, UK, versus loose meat / tavern sandwich in the US. Lauren, you want to start this time? Defend the loose meat / tavern sandwich?
There is something to us. Are you familiar with Sloppy Joes in the United Kingdom? Another like post-war kind of like survival food that stuck around in the United States. I think the tavern sandwich is very similar.
Yes, it's like Sloppy Joe without the slop. There's no sauce.
Yes. I'm guessing this probably only exists in a few small towns. Kind of like the steam burger they do somewhere that's always in Massachusetts. It's always getting a lot of attention. I think probably in the context of like when and where you're eating it in like a small town diner in a quirky old Rust Belt kind of neighborhood, it's probably delicious.
Yep. That's pretty much it. It's loose hamburger, onions, and stuff. Sometimes it's served with the accoutrement of a burger, like pickles and ketchup and mustard and stuff. But mostly it is loose ground beef, seasoned and served in a bun. Charlotte, you want to speak in favor of the fish finger sandwich?
Yeah, well, what can I say about the fish finger sandwich? All of the stuff in the sandwich is inside of the sandwich, which is lovely. I can't necessarily say about the loose meat / tavern sandwich. That seems to be a little too messy for my liking. I do really like the fact that so many good British sandwiches are just like, hey, you like this thing? Hey, you like chips? You like fish fingers? That's good, right? You know what will make it better? Stick it in a sandwich. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
I think many things, I wouldn't even say most things, can be improved by just putting it in a sandwich. And that is a thing that the British are good at doing, and just sort of like looking outside of the regular meats and leaves and such, and saying, this thing from the freezer that could be nice in there. If I was going to consume a fish finger, I would rather consume it in this fashion, I would say. So that's my feeling about this one.
Charlotte
is very nicely.
Yeah, no, this is a nice photo. This is a nice photo, and it's perhaps mean of me to have chosen a nice photo. Charlotte is bringing an interesting sixth form debate class energy to this that I wasn't expecting.
I thought that was what I was supposed to do.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. I just
this is like how I actually didn't end up in the debate club, although I am the kind of person who almost ended up in the debate club. Can
I tell you what I did with? Sorry, carry on.
Oh, but I was in the public speaking club, which is basically close enough, isn't it?
Very close. Yeah. Yes. I can tell you my story with the debate club, which is that we had to do one sort of extracurricular type thing. So I did, which means it's just curricular if you have to do it. And then I did debate. and mostly kept going because I really fancied the teacher who we had for it. It was this Irish, Northern Irish guy who I adored. And then one day I got insanely anxious doing it because that's what happens to me, and I stopped going. So never really did a debate. I'm going to go ahead and give that one to Charlotte because the fish finger sandwich is better. Okay. Crisp sandwich from the UK versus the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles from the United States. Charlotte, would you like to speak in favor of the crisp sandwich, please?
Yes. I would like to speak in favor of the crisp sandwich. You know, when you're in a pickle, right? Oh man, I need to put together a sandwich real quick. There's no cheese. That's such a shame. No meats. What am I even going to do? I've got to get out the door real quick here. I've got to have something that's going to be interesting texturally as well. I got some crisps. Oh, once again, what are we doing? Just stick that stuff in a sandwich. Why the hell not? This one goes down nicely with some butter. And I will say, listen, I'm not going to go for the crisp sandwich every time. But when I do think to put crisps in a sandwich, it does make the sandwich better every single time. That is the truth of the crisp. I was already explaining to you my lunch situation today. I did have the crisps on the side, and I did think during that conversation, I need to stop just putting those fuckers in there because that's just going to be it's just going to make the sandwich even better at the end of the day. It's a superior way to eat crisps.
Great. Thank you so much. Lauren?
I think there's nothing wrong with a crisp sandwich. That sounds very nice to me, but I don't think you can take this one because what we're looking at on the right here, the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle, is the apex of a form of science, not incomparable to the results of the Manhattan Project, where we are looking at something that probably 100,000 hours of hard science went into to get the little maple syrup crystals, to invent maple syrup crystals, and then insert it into a pancake patty that could be done at scale at 3,000 locations across the United States.
Yes.
Perfectly every single time. You're less looking at a sandwich than you are an aspect of the divine.
Yes. I will reveal I had already written a 1 in Lauren's column before Charlotte even started talking.
Yeah,
it's obviously
this one is pretty mean. But now I'm obviously just thinking of, you mentioned the Manhattan Project. I'm just thinking about Ronald McDonald watching Super Size Me and going, I am become death.
Yes.
With a big flat brim hat, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know which one of these I would prefer to eat, so that's why I conceded, and congratulations.
Yeah, and it's not something you can do. It's human. It's engineered to appeal to the human palate in a way that nothing else on Earth is.
Yes, I completely agree. And thank God that they did that. All right. Here we have the bacon sandwich from the UK versus the chop suey sandwich from a very specific small part of New England. Lauren, would you like to speak in favor of the chop suey sandwich, please?
Sure. I'll notice that all of the bad American sandwiches here come from New England. It's really your guys' fault. No, chop suey sandwich is like an incredibly hyper-local thing. I don't think I would enjoy it. I do appreciate everyone I've known who enjoys these, including Ben Clemens of The Onion, is a chop suey sandwich aficionado. They're all doing a bit when they eat this.
Yes.
They know it's gross, and they're eating it to gross other people out. And on that level, you have to respect it.
It's very true. Charlotte, bacon sandwich?
Yeah, the thing about the bacon sandwich is it is nice to eat, and I want to eat it, which is one of the things I like about a sandwich is that it's good. The HP sauce on the bacon sandwich, it is a match made in heaven. That is what HP sauce is designed for. I like you can put it with the full English breakfast, but ultimately when you put that fucker in the bacon sarnie, it is just perfect, and for its simplicity to be as good as it is, people shit on British bacon as well, but it's just because some people don't know how to cook it right. At the end of the day, when you cook it correctly, you're getting some crispiness with that fat, but you're also getting a nice chew as well, which you're missing out if you're just going full crispy bacon too. And it is the kind of bacon that I would prefer to have if I'm going to have bacon at the end of the day. So
that's also a very American palate thing, is I don't think we do chewy textures very, very well.
Yeah,
we're a crunch-based country. We want something that's crunchy.
Right.
Yes. And I will say, moving to the United States and finding out that you can put egg and cheese on bacon in a sandwich, and you don't just have to have literally sometimes bread with bacon in it. That was kind of a revelation for me. However, I will be giving this one to Charlotte because, that's sort of this is sort of a joke food, isn't it? The chop suey sandwich. It looks like brains.
Yeah.
They would never admit it, but yes.
I think it was commendable that I put in any effort at all with that one when I clearly did not need to. But I actually had not thought about like British style bacon with HP sauce and egg and cheese. Now that's curious. I would like to explore this. Okay, what do we got next?
It would be perfect. It would be amazing. All right. From the UK, we have the toast sandwich, and from the United States, we have beef Manhattan. Charlotte? I
mean, we already have established here that nothing makes an ingredient better than putting it inside of 2 pieces of bread. But what if you were to take one of the key ingredients in this formula and encase that inside the bread itself? Therefore, we have the toast sandwich. We have the textural variance, because obviously we have toast on the inside and the fluffiness on the outside. And we've just got as much bread as one could possibly enjoy. A new way of appreciating the variance of bread has been unlocked in the toast sandwich. I, for one, having seen this image of a toast sandwich, well, I got my dinner figured out.
Very commendable effort. Lauren?
What I see in this picture is a tale of 2 countries. The year is 1946. The United Kingdom has met near total destruction. There are no supply chains anymore. People are at serious risk of starvation. They put a slice of toast between pieces of bread because it's what they have. Similarly, United States, 1946, small deli in Indianapolis. What do you got? You got nothing but basically free beef, all the onions you can grow locally, and the food that Americans love more than any other, gravy, proper brown gravy.
Yeah.
What we're looking at here is the 2 sides of the Atlantic in the post-war era. We had more resources, more calories, more food, better access to things like slop pile beef. As a result, we created the more tasty thing. There's less nostalgia for this because it was a local, regional thing. There's plenty of those. I think if you were going to pick a gross open-faced sandwich like this, you should do the hot brown, which is one of the worst named sandwiches of all time, but it's similarly...
Hot brown?
Google hot brown.
I'm Googling hot brown.
Put in Wikipedia.
Libby, don't Google hot brown.
Specify
don't
hot
do
brown
it.
Wikipedia.
Don't Google hot brown.
Or the Kentucky hot brown. This is another thing. Yes. This is another excellent slot pile sandwich.
But it's not brown.
Well, you put it under the broiler and it gets brown.
I understand.
Also, it was created for the Brown Hotel.
I see. Okay. Just Britishly getting really mad when a food isn't brown for a second there. I was sort of hoping and expecting Lauren to get madder at me for putting something on the list that clearly people don't eat, but that is because people always fucking show me the toast sandwich and they say, this is what you eat. This is your breakfast. We don't know who eats this. No one eats this. Just because it's on Wikipedia doesn't mean it's a British food. It was in a fucking recipe book in 1870. And it doesn't mean that we actually eat the toast sandwich. Nobody eats a toast sandwich. It's a joke and you've been fooled and it's not British food and I'm not mad. I'm going to give this one to Lauren because the beef Manhattan sounds kind of good.
It's gravy, meat, and cheese and bread. What could be bad about it?
Yep, absolutely.
And of course, the toast sandwich inspired the Big Mac as well. as we all know, by putting bread in the middle. So you can't hate on it too much because of that.
Someone actually was like making their toast sandwich, and just like it fell open, and like just a bunch of like beef and cheese fell on top of it, and that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. It just rains from the sky here. Okay, cucumber sandwich from the UK. Just like you talked about what you had earlier, versus Italian sub from the United States. Lauren?
There's nothing I can say to make this less, like, look at it. Obviously, this wins. Cucumber sandwiches are great. That's another thing that New Orleans has. It's lovely as the little finger sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the thing on the right and tell me that's not better. You're lying to yourself if you do.
Charlotte?
Well, it's a podcast and they can't see it, so I don't know how that argument is going to go. Just look at it. Unless you're subscribed to the Watch All This Then tier on Patreon.
Beautiful hoagie. About a foot long, just rotating in place. Go to rotatingsandwiches.com. First thing on there, Italian sub from Bubba Bob's, Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's
best
what I
sandwich
should
ever
have
made.
fucking done. I should have taken one of Lauren's sandwiches. That's so stupid. Anyway, once again, I'd already written a mark in Lauren's column here. It's obviously the Italian sub. It's one of the best sandwiches on the planet.
Okay, can I try a little bit though?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
But what I think is important to say about the cucumber sandwich is that Libby's just flipping me off now. I don't know. That doesn't. I'll just
Sorry.
say I don't think that seems fair. I don't think that seems in the spirit of the competition. Actually, so I forfeit. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, well, it's all tied up. So it all comes down to this last one, and I do not remember what this last one is. So I'm just as excited as you to see what this is. We have pie bomb / Wigan kebab versus a po' boy. Charlotte?
Wow. I mean, just look at it. I mean, just look at it, and it's clear that I'll win. I mean, no, just look at it. Guys at home, simply just look at it. I do think that this is the peak of British people just being like, you could put that in a sandwich, right? Imagine just taking a whole ass pie, something that is clearly finished, and ready, and saying, actually, no, we can elevate this even further. And we're going to say, actually, we're going to give this up. We're going to call this a vegan kebab. Because we've reached, we can't call this a pie sandwich because we've gone so far into what you can put between two pieces of bread that it has to simply be called its own thing. I like pie. I like bread. I mean, it's the two together. What can I say?
Very good. Very good. Lauren?
I will say I have always and will always want to try a vegan kebab. Looks great. Not slamming it in any way.
Thank you.
I'm going to, again, try to find a compromise position here on the po' boy. It's unfair to give all of America credit for New Orleans.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of its own thing, and that's why it's great.
Mm-hmm.
That said, the po' boy is a top 3 global sandwich in whatever form. Are you familiar with po' boy, Charlotte?
I actually don't know what a po' boy is now.
So a po' boy is the definitional thing is the French bread. And they call it French bread, and they don't call it a baguette. It's a very crusty. It's less crusty. It's less hard than like the kind of baguette you would find in most Panera bread kind of places. But it's super pillowy and crunchy, and very good bread is the basis of it. And then you can put kind of whatever sandwich filling you want. It looks like here we might have fried oyster po' boy, one of the all-time great po' boys. The definitional po' boy for me is the roast beef po' boy, which is obviously like good quality roast beef that they then slather in brown gravy again, getting back to a recurring theme in my preference for sandwiches. So it just becomes like a sloppy, wet, disgusting mess that's also the best tasting thing you've ever had. So yeah, I think you got to give us the po' boy, but I don't think it should be representative of America more broadly.
Sure.
I would also shout out the best unknown, less widely known sandwich from New Orleans, the muffaletta.
Oh, the muffaletta is so fucking good. Charlotte, it's like a really big circular Italian sandwich with like specifically this like olive sort of like tapenade almost, like chopped olive salad. Yeah. It's so good.
On the oiliest, greasiest, most delicious, like heavy oil loaf you've ever had.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's really
huge.
good.
Sounds too colourful for me, actually. we all know that what you actually want is just pure beige.
Yes,
Which is why I would much rather have a Wigan kebab any day of the week. Thank you very much for your time.
Could they make it brown is my question. I think on this one, I'm going to have to say Lauren takes it, even though I don't really like shrimp. And the only po' boy I had was a beef one, and I thought it was pretty good, but maybe not my favorite way to eat beef. And I really like the Wigan kebab. I've made a Wigan kebab, and it's good. But I am going to give it to Lauren because I think people will get too mad at me if I say Wigan kebab over po' boy. So Lauren takes it. Well done.
Can I say one more thing about
please.
fried shrimp in Louisiana in general?
Yes.
If you don't like shrimp, I suggest one way to find out if it's like you just haven't had it right, or if you just don't care, like, or if there's potential you might like it. You got to go to the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival in Morgan City, Louisiana, which is the best festival I've ever been to.
Amazing.
It exists entirely underneath the I-10 overpass. It's always rainy and shitty and gross weather when they have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total tribute and love letter to the oil companies that both fuel and ruin southwestern Louisiana. And it is the best fried shrimp in the world.
Damn, that does sound good. I remember...
It catches right off the boat.
Yeah. I remember going to, I think the aquarium in New Orleans. And
great aquarium. Yeah.
Yeah, really good aquarium. But there was a sign there that said... It was essentially the Simpsons never forget you're here forever sign, but it was never forget oil and gas built this wing of the aquarium or something. And it was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I wasn't gonna, but fucking hell. Yeah, it's a special place. Charlotte, let's do What's All This Then road trip where we go to New Orleans someday when you can come to the United States.
That sounds delightful. I can't believe we've gone long on the episode that we've arguably had the least to talk about in reference to the main topic. What a joy this has been.
Yes.
Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Anything you'd like to promote or talk about?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Betting Around is my baseball podcast. We thought like there were too many podcasts with viable audiences, so we decided to have a bunch of gay and transgender people host a podcast about America's third most popular sport. Listen to it if you want. It's not going to appeal to most people. That's fine.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lauren.
I mean, I'm sold.
Yeah. I would love one day to understand a sport. I just clearly have a lot of trauma to get over first.
We got to do more sports episodes, Libby. We gotta use this as a way to actually get into sports and be cool in that way. I feel always like worryingly close to being a sports ball person, and I do want to avoid that. It would be nice to care about at least one of these games. But Lauren, thank you so much.
Living in LA, pretty good baseball team over there.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad. My suggestion, Charlotte, marry a sports guy.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know, listeners, if any of you are single, if you're a sports guy.
No,
I'm
do
available.
not contact Charlotte about this.
I'm here. I'm looking for love. I mean, if you've listened to enough episodes of the podcast at this point, you basically know me, my personality. So it's like we kind of already know each other in a way. And if you're one of those people, actually, what you should do is subscribe to the Patreon instead. That's the best way to support this show. You can get access to all of our previous bonus episodes, video episodes as well, and all of the episodes ad-free too. You can also get in touch with us at whatsallthispost@gmail.com if you've got an idea for a British Thought of the Week, or you just want to tell us how much you love us and we would be great as your wives, etc. You can do that there as well. Or you can send that stuff to whatsallthispod on Blue Sky and Instagram. That's the end of the show. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea?